I was doing some reflecting earlier as I made a post just to document, reflect, and then kind of update my people on my training as of recently. So right now I'm in the marathon prep and I am lifting 5 days a week for 5 sessions, running for 3 sessions, and walking around 13 to 16,000 steps on average. And just as have been just reflecting on what I'm able to do and looking at it, and since in the health and fitness space of social media, the talk around obesity has been on the forefront of most people's minds since a paper came out, and it says that 1 in 8 people are clinically obese, meaning that we've reached the threshold of past 1 billion people that are obese, and now it is the biggest threat to public health than hunger. And what obesity is paradoxical. So essentially, it's the overconsumption of energy, but the nourishment of those calories are very minor, and people are not getting the essential minerals, vitamins, and other elements within those calories that they are consuming. And now obesity is a very multifaceted topic, and there's not one answer to why somebody is overweight, and etc. And I was reflecting on this with what I'm doing and with on that topic, and me just reflecting on it from one perspective is that I have a lot of privileges when it comes to my ability to be able to train because of my obsession, my passion, and my occupation all revolves around fitness. The people within my close circle, the fact that I have 7+ years of higher education around this stuff, and various other reasons and choices, of course, that I have made to get myself here. But at the end of the day, mostly I am very lucky to be here due to biological, environmental, psychological, social, economic factors. Genetics have influenced me, and same thing for other people. And the common reason I hear from people, or solution that people give that's unsolicited to those who are obese or overweight, is that you should eat less and move more, and it's not that simple. And then it is common to point the finger towards you lack willpower and that you are lazy. When if you look at it, there is a statistic saying that there more than 48 to 52% of people, and I saw some of the percentages go up to in the 60s, that more people than ever are trying diets. So that doesn't make sense how there are so many different diet iterations, vehicles that leads to an energy deficit, and there are so many people that are trying, but so many people are not succeeding. And so with that, it refutes the idea that people are lazy as a whole, that everyone's just lazy and everyone lacks willpower, because our environments, our genetics, our biology do influence a lot of how things shake out. And it's not as easy as just pointing towards somebody saying that they are lazy. And for me, looking at my situation, I have so many things, so many variables that are working for me compared to against. And also throw in the fact that I do not have children, I do not have a family that I'm supporting. And it's not as simple as they're just people who are just lazy and lack willpower. Of course, there is a level of accountability for sure. And that's from someone who is, yes, I train on the extreme end of the spectrum. However, I work with people on both polar ends of the spectrum, as I work with bariatric patients who are that classification, who are at that extreme of getting medical weight loss surgery, and on the other end of people who train 5-6 days a week, heavy barbell sessions, track, monitor meticulously their macros, and people all across in between. And looking at it, everyone your environment, from looking at it, your environment plays a large role. Your genetics, your social economic status, your psychology, all that plays a big role in our access to food and the power that be that manages your grocery stores, how they psychologically maneuvers those stores to make it easier for you to purchase items that are more calorically dense, hyper palatable, and less nutrient dense foods. And a lot of things are at play. And so it's not just because people are lazy. There's a lot of things working against people, that people feel like they are swimming upstream. And so it's an interesting no man's land that I'm in, that I can see it from one side of the having disciplined motivation, you just got to do it, etc. position stand, but also the other of understanding what normal people, real people go through. And even I find it difficult for myself as well, but I have so many things that have helped me in I am in a very lucky situation to be where I'm at, and not many people have as many variables working for them as I do. So it's a delicate balance between the two, but it's not as easy as just saying that people are just lazy and lack willpower. And I feel like it would be more helpful for us to be kind and to look at this more holistically through many angles than to just simply go with the easiest answer without understanding that person's whole context, because people as a whole don't want to be overweight. They don't want to not be healthy. They don't want to not feel good. And people don't want that. That's not for me to say that everyone doesn't want that, but generally most people, and I would bet my money on this from my experience and my background and my credibility, that most people don't want this. And so showing a level of self-compassion and understanding can go a long way before just judging somebody. And also the BEM and also the results are greatly skewed, since the indicator to classify everyone, us as on a population level, is using the BMI score. And the BMI score, body mass index, was created in the early 19th century by a mathematician, not a physician, and it was used to classify body composition and for the government to know where to allocate resources for said people. And it doesn't look at any other variables, and from a physiological perspective or a anthropometric of like your waist, and for the physiological perspective on your bones and your muscles and the weight of your tissues and organs and everything else. And the math doesn't that doesn't line up well as well. And there's so many holes in that metric. And so the thing itself already is quite skewed. And so pulling this back, when you look at people's health and the kind of state of everything, I feel like we need to definitely look at it more holistically and keep asking questions and not be so trigger happy to jump to the conclusion for the easiest answer. Because for one person's experience and their affinity to be able to exercise and access accessibility and all that stuff is not the same as another person. I got very lucky with everything in my situation. I know people who generally do not like it. And so we got to find a way to make it sustainable, fun, enjoyable, and curate the environment so it's easier instead of just trying to pull willpower from thin air. Try to help people make better decisions by curating their environment so then they don't have to fight that hard. Why make it harder when you don't need to. And so that's just a perspective on this topic here. So I'll unpack this more as I go and I keep researching and learning. Yeah, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts too. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.